Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy April the 6th. How are you guys doing? Are you ready for a good weekend? Weekend of fun. Weekend to enjoy your life. Hello, Jessica. Haven't seen you for a while on here. Jessica, are you in Indiana? Or are you in California? Hello, Jacob. How are you guys doing? Hello, Hefzabar. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying your lives? Because that's what God wants for us. He wants us to enjoy our lives. Does not want us to be in misery. He wants us to love and to love others. So, hello, Vicky. Hello, Janelle. Welcome to Friday's show of Restored to Freedom. So, how are you guys? Are you excited about what the Lord is going to do this weekend? Hello. You'll never guess where I'm at. I know you guys are all thinking the same thing, that I'm on a tropical paradise in the South Pacific. You know, there's the white beaches behind me. Hello, Savelia. Hello, Tina Marie from College Station. Hello, Faith from Louisiana. Hello, Wanda from from Maryland. So, yes, here I am. I'm in the South Pacific. The wonderful white beaches behind me as the ocean waters are coming in. Yes, I'm in Galveston. There we go. And I'm just putting on the jacket just for show, just to kind of throw you guys off, because it's actually 90 degrees outside right now. So again, I like to keep everyone guessing where I might be in the world. So actually, the white sands that you see here is actually snow. How funny is that? It actually snowed this morning. Yes. And I am near Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Here, look, see? There's snow right there. Dun, 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 dun. Finally, I found winter. I've been searching for it. I've been in search of winter all year. I've not been able to find it, and I finally found it. So beautiful. Yes, looks like Destin. Oh, I love Destin, Florida. It's one of my favorite places, so I'm just imagining right now, yes, that I'm in Destin, Florida, that there's sharks behind me and dolphins, and I'm getting ready to jump in the water and go for a swim. So actually, across this lake, which is Lake Ontario behind me, is Toronto somewhere. You can't see it because it's quite cloudy here. It was actually snowing up until about 30 minutes ago, and then it stopped. Only got a dusting here. Got a dusting, but yes, you can envision that I'm actually in Destin, Florida, and I've got my swim trunks on and getting ready to jump in the water and going for a swim. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I went to Fort Walton Beach earlier, like in October, I think it was, and had like a mini vacation there. So, hello, Stephanie. Sunny and 60 with snow tomorrow in Kentucky. Well, lucky you. So I'm getting to enjoy a little bit of winter before I head back to Texas. I'll be in Texas on the 20th, so in 2 weeks from today, be back in the warm temperatures, probably complaining, saying it's too hot and I'm sweating and it's 90 degrees. So I'm praying that it doesn't get too hot. So anyway, having fun, enjoying the Canadians up here. They're all very friendly. They like me, which is good. It's much better than not liking me. So it's going to be 55 in College Station. Brr, put the jackets on the doggies. So anyway, so a little bit of my Canadian adventure the Lord's taken me on. So they have Tim Hortons stores, like I think every other block. It's kind of like New York City with their Dunkin' Donuts. So you must, when you come to Canada, partake in the coffee that they have and muffins. I stay away from the donuts. Because I used to eat donuts a lot. I used to, my mom would come home with, she would go shopping at Scott's IGA, where actually my brothers worked, and actually learned that Tina's brothers worked there. How funny is that? But my mom used to always get donuts every like Saturday morning, and if I would go with her, I would get them and pick them out. Otherwise, I would wait till she came home and then devour them. But anymore, I don't eat the donuts because I know they're not really that healthy for us. Even though I try sometimes to like think that by eating a blueberry, blueberry muffin, that's healthy somewhat in a very small percentage of of realness. So anyway, they have Tim Hortons everywhere up here, and I like my French vanilla coffee, which I know has got a lot of calories in it, but I burn the calories every morning when I go to work out at LA Fitness, which I did this morning. In fact, I went into LA Fitness this morning and it wasn't snowing, and I came out and it was snowing, and there were seagulls outside in the parking lot that I got to chase. I got to have fun chasing they didn't have doves. I'm looking for doves to go coo, and there's no cooing doves. They're just like these squawking seagulls, which you'll probably hear in the background here as I'm here on the white beaches of Destin, Florida. So anyway, Tim Hortons are everywhere up here. And Burger King, I've learned, is not open for breakfast. So my son Jordan, oldest son, he's like a manager. Hey, look at that. There's a seagull flying, floating. Hello, seagull. Wow. I want to fly like a bird. Look at that. How cool is that? It's like the Lord sends these eagles and doves and stuff around me when I'm doing this stuff. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, the Burger Kings aren't open for breakfast, I've learned here, which I don't eat at Burger King anyway. Sorry, Jordan, but I noticed that. But have you ever heard of an A&W root beer place? When I was a kid, they used to have an A&W root beer stand in Columbia City, Indiana, that I used to relish going to because we would get A&W root beer. And I loved... Oh my gosh, there's some annoying seagulls here. Anyway, I used to love A&W root beer, and they had hot dogs and stuff like that. But they have them here in Canada, in Niagara Falls. And apparently, they're open 24 hours a day. How funny is that? I mean, I never would have thought about going to A&W root beer in the morning for breakfast. But yeah, A&W root beer stand they had in Columbia City, they used to always come out and put your drinks like on the side of your window of your car. They'd have these things that would latch onto it, and they would come out. I don't think they actually had roller skates. They might have had them, but I remember used to going roller skating occasionally that they had there. And they used to have a bowling alley too in Columbia City called Schuman Lanes that one of my relatives apparently owned, that some people went bowling there. So anyway, a little bit of history. Another thing I'll share about Canada that's different than the United States is when I go to get gas, instead of seeing gallons, it's liters. So it's like you get, 47 liters for like, $85 or something, but it's 85 Canadian dollars. So it's actually a little, there's an exchange rate. It's like, 77% cheaper than Canada dollars. But they have chip readers in their gas pumps. So you have to put your card in. I've got a credit card that has a chip, and you don't just slide it in, slide it out like you do in the United States. You have to leave it in, and then it does its thing, verifies it, and then it allows you to pop it out. So that's different. Also, I went to Walmart this morning to get some protein drinks. Unfortunately, they didn't have some of my favorites. I like strawberry and cream and caramel flavored, but they had vanilla and chocolate, so I got a vanilla. I've never tried that before. Hopefully it doesn't make me vomit. And I got some Cliff Bars and some other stuff. So anyway, when I went to pay for the stuff at Walmart, she asked me if I wanted plastic bags. I thought that was strange. Well, what am I going to do? Carry this all out in my hands? I'm like, well, of course. Oh, but of course I want plastic bags. Well, then I proceeded to see that she charged me like 10 cents for 2 plastic bags. Of course, that's Canadian, so it's probably like 7.7. Here comes, I'm going to say there's another bird that's coming this way. Anyway, interesting nuances of the Canadian lifestyle. I don't know if you noticed or not, something different about my head. Anyone? Notice anything different about my head? I'll give you a full shot. I'll give you 15 seconds. Anyone notice anything different about my head? Yep, there's a bird. Hey, birdie. Hi, birdie. Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Tina, you win. You win, let's see, what do you win? You win a free blizzard the next time I come back to College Station. There you go. But I got a haircut, And guess what? Nope, not darker hair. It's the same lightness. Look at that bird. It's just hanging there. Hope he doesn't like deposit something on my new head. That wouldn't be cool. Anyway, I got a haircut at a place that I like to get in the United States called Sport Clips, because they do a really good job, and plus you can watch sports like on their TVs. So they have Sport Clips here. They've only had them here, I guess, for like maybe a couple of years, and they don't have that many. So fortunately, on my way from gosh, there's a lot of seagulls here. Please don't poop on me. Thank you. Anyway, I got a good haircut, so yay. And she did a good job. So hoping my cowlicks don't show. Anyway, so yesterday I did some personal sessions with some local Canadians. And I don't do many of them anymore because I'm just too busy. But I used to do like thousands of them. And so yesterday I did some personal sessions. Actually, this whole week I did personal sessions with people at this home that I was staying in. And this one woman said that she had broken her femur and broken her ankle and broken some other bone in her leg. So she always limped and couldn't walk around much. And so, I really sensed the Lord said, just, pray for her, because she had gone through the deliverance like a couple days before. And that's what I'm finding oftentimes that stops healing, is if we do have given a legal right for Jezebel Leviathan to be in our bodies, or in our spirits affecting us. So anyway, she took that away. So I just declared that she was healed in Jesus' name, commanded the legs to be healed and no pain, and then she went for a walk, and she had no pain, like the first time in, I don't know, something like 10 years, 15 years, something like that, a long time. So I love that. I love healings, miracles. And she said she could walk straight, and she couldn't do that before either. So anyway, after that happened, she's like, I want you to come to Toronto to speak, like on Sunday. You doing anything on Sunday? I'm like, well, I don't think I am. Let me check with the people in Elmer that I'm going to this weekend, Friday and Saturday. So I checked, and sure enough, my schedule was open on Sunday. So now I'm going to Pastor Dominic, what's his last name? Anyways, Third Heavens Church. Third Heavens Church in Toronto. I think it's Woodbridge is the suburb. Dominic Vital, that's it. Dominic Vital is his name. So I will be speaking there 10 a.m. on Sunday morning and 6 p.m. in the evening. So people are coming. People are coming. Nope, not Dominic Herbst. Nope, that's... although all the Dominics I ever know are very nice people. So in fact, I told Dominic Herbst, he's the guy that's in charge of Restoring Relationships ministry that I've been partnering with, and he's like, I told him about the pastor's name being Dominic. He's like, oh, he's got to be a good guy then. I'm like, yep, that's true. Every Dominic I know, good guys. So anyway, that happened. Also, when I was on Facebook Live yesterday, it was really cool because a woman from Barbados tried to get her 16-year-old daughter to watch my children's deliverance video, and she refused to. So then the mother left and came home later, and then the girl, 16 years old, watches the children's deliverance session, gets delivered, and then apologizes to her mom and says, I love you, and amazing. And so I told her, I would love to interview her like in another month, a month or month and a half, and to allow the testimony to be shared, from a 16-year-old girl, because there's a lot of teenage girls that have been hurt, by father wounds and mother wounds, and it's tremendous to see the families get restored, so anyway, good stuff. So today the topic is actually I guess I changed the topic at the last minute, but it's the same topic, I just reworded it, but basically it's when you want to be loved or to receive love, then you must have your soul wounds healed. Obviously we all want to be loved, we all want to love, although some people want to be loved, but then they want to torment their spouse, and we've seen that obviously with the spirits of Jezebel Leviathan, that's why. But your soul wounds need to be healed and restored from the damage that had taken place when you were growing up, whether you have father wounds, mother wounds, whether you've been molested, all that stuff gives the legal right of the Jezebel Leviathan spirits to come in and torment us. And then we end up not seeing correctly the truth of our relationships, and it clouds it. In fact, yes, I'll share this. There's a woman that came in the afternoon that she had, struggles with her ex-husband and children, and I could see her countenance was pretty kind of sad and forlorn and not happy. And I took her through the prayers, explained, how you get the spirits and stuff. She went through the prayers, and then when I made the declarations for the healing in the body, the back, the neck and stuff, she said everything that I was declaring, she felt stuff happening in her body. She used to fall asleep when she tried to listen to the word or whatever, and she had blurriness in her vision. I commanded all that to be healed, and she said she noticed after all that before we did the prayers that she could see like a fogginess or cloudiness or a shadow around me, around her friend, and around other things in the room, and that was gone after the deliverance happened. And her whole countenance changed. She was happy. She was smiling. I mean, you could just see the difference. In fact, she was laughing. I mean, it was just dramatic. She was so changed. So anyway, that's what the Lord wants to do for all of us. We all want to be loved. We all want to love. Who wants to be tormented or controlled or manipulated? And why that happens is because we are hearing the enemy whisper and or speak to us loudly in our head, and we have chatter. In fact, the woman told me that she no longer had the chatter either. She's like, oh my gosh, she was just sitting there. She goes, normally she could hear the chatter all the time, and she couldn't hear it anymore. So how awesome is that? So essentially, lifetimes of broken relationships ensue when you end up having pain from a father or mother or being molested, and one normally will never find their true love, because what will happen is they will end up getting married to someone, and either that person has those spirits of Jezebel, Leviathan, or Ahab, and they hear the enemy, and it tells them things that are not true and causes them to control or manipulate and lie and deceive and to be sexually impure, but it will ruin the relationships. And so to be truly able to love someone and to be loved in the purest form is you need to be set freed from those spirits, but you also have to have your soul wounds healed. It goes hand in hand. It's really a challenge to get your soul wounds healed if you're hearing the voice of the enemy all the time, causing you to control and manipulate your spouse and create a lot of hell. So, the Lord showed me that the way that you get delivered from spirits so that you can have more of a peaceful mind is you have to choose to forgive those that hurt you. And that can be hard for a lot of people. I know I went through some pretty extreme stuff with my second wife, and when you have knives thrown at you and glasses thrown at you and you get chased and yelled and screamed at, and it goes on and on for 6 years and it's hell, I could have gotten really angry and said that person's so mean and I hate them and blah, 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 but I couldn't. I didn't want to do that because that would have hurt me. Then the right of the enemy would be able to stay on me, so I choose to forgive. And that's a choice, and we have to choose that. If we don't choose it, then the enemy does have a legal right to stay, on us basically, or stay in us so we can hear the voice very strongly. So you have to take that away, and you choose to forgive in doing that. And how can you do that sometimes? How can you do that when your ex-spouse was horrible to you, or when your mom or dad weren't around, or they treated you horribly, or you were molested? How can you choose to forgive? And the way the Lord showed me is if you can ask the Lord to show you how He sees them, He will reveal that. He did that to me. I could see my spouse as a hurting little girl that grew up with a father that did not know how to love because he didn't have a father, and a mother that was basically tortured by her father. It was awful. So when you can see from God's perspective, you can truly choose to forgive and say that's not who they really are. And it really helps, obviously. But you got to choose to forgive. And the other thing is you have to repent from any pride that you have. You have to humble yourself. And sometimes that can be hard for people when they're very prideful, obviously. And then you have to command the spirits to go. And when they go, then you're not hearing the chatter anymore. And then the process of healing those soul wounds. And that could be a process. That could be, several weeks or months. Sometimes for people it's years and they never get them healed. And this program called Restoring Relationships by Dominic Herbst, I really like it because it takes you through basically all the pains and stuff that you've gone through, that we live in a fallen world, and that we don't have Jesus as our dad or our mom, so we're going to be hurt. And there's a a section of his program where you write letters to confront those that have hurt you, and you write your life story, and you don't give the letters to them. You just basically write it as if you're writing it to them. So maybe your dad or your mom or your brother or sister or your ex-husband or wife, and it's really a very, very healthy way of verbalizing the pain. And I know that when I wrote it, actually with my first wife, I didn't think I had that much pain because my second wife was so much more challenging. And yet I did. And there's a lot of things that she had done. And I wasn't perfect either with my first wife. I did some things I shouldn't have as well. So, but it's really, really cool, that process of restoring our relationships, restoring our hearts, and getting back to the way the Lord wanted us to be created, and to see, that, yeah, it wasn't right what we went through, and to confront, I wrote a letter to my dad and my mom. They weren't bad to me, but yet there are some things that they did or didn't do, because we're not perfect. We're not Jesus. We live in a fallen world, so we're going to be hurting people that sometimes unbeknownst to us. So, and then one thing that's really interesting is you write a letter to God and you confront God. And I'm like, what? I can't do that. I love God. God loves me. I feel the love. And the lady, Janelle, had told me, no, you need to write a letter to confront God, because you went through, he had you go through some things that were not fun. He asked you, obviously you agreed to do it, and taking on your second wife and then not telling anybody about all the stuff you went through. So I wrote the letter to God, a confront letter. And, there's a lot of tears that are shed oftentimes that are healthy. It's healthy to cry, to grieve, grieve the little girl, little boy that maybe the childhood that you didn't receive, that you should have. And so when your wounds are healed, then you are free to love and to be loved. And you are pure and you feel so clean inside. It's just amazing. And of course you get delivered from the demons, and you're not hearing the voices anymore either. I know there's so many people out there that are in marriages where people are prideful, and they refuse to admit that they have anything wrong with them, and they'll blame their spouse for it and say, well, it's all their fault, when they really need to look in the mirror at themselves. So, in fact, the Lord kind of showed me this today as I was driving. He said, those who have been hurt the deepest, when healed, have the greatest capacity to love. And I had never even thought about that before. The Lord just spoke that to me as I was driving on the QEW here in Canada. And I was like, yeah, it's true. Because if you grew up with a very loving mom or dad, then how can you understand the rest of the world who has endured a lot of pain and sorrow? When you've gone through stuff, and I mean, some of the friends I have, they've gone through extreme stuff compared to what I have, and I see the love, the capacity they have to love people is so much even deeper than me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I love to see what God's doing in my friends' lives, and to see the healing and the restoration that's taken place. So it's really, really amazing. And I have a love for people. I want to obviously love on people. It'd be very, for me, it'd be like, wow, to actually have a wife that would love me and that I could love, and we wouldn't strive anymore. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. So I know he's preparing me, preparing whomever that might be. And at some point, we'll come together and travel around the world and do this ministry. And it's growing. It's so fun to watch people all over the world that are getting the revelation between the connections of the wounds of the fathers and the mothers and the molestations, and then the Jezebel Leviathan spirits, and then getting delivered from it. I had a woman that came up to me a couple nights ago when I spoke on Wednesday night in St. Catherine's, and she's like, I knew about Jezebel. I heard a little bit about Leviathan, not as much as what you explained, but she said, no one's ever connected the dots as clearly as what you explained it. And I'm like, well, praise the Lord, thank God. I don't know why he didn't do this a long time ago, because I'm like, it explains so much. Like, why didn't he do this like 1,000 years ago? Or when, I don't know, when Jesus was around, but for such a time as this, I guess. So anyway, it's great. It's awesome. I'm enjoying I'm enjoying the adventures. I love to travel. I love to, I've been to every state in the United States. I've been to Israel. I've been to France. I've been to Bermuda. I've been to Canada. And I know there's future travels. I know I'll be going to Australia. I know I'll be going to Germany. I mean, I'll probably go to most other countries that will have me. But it's a beautiful, awesome thing to watch. People's lives getting set free, having their soul wounds healed, and then seeing them come together in a marriage where they don't strive, they don't fight, they don't argue. They just love. And they're willing to lay down their lives to help others, you know. So, anyway. So again, remember, you know, those that have been hurt the deepest, when healed, have the greatest capacity to love. And it's a beautiful thing, so. Hey, there's BB. Hello, BB. So BB Bacchus Ramsuchit, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but she is the one that invited me to come speak in Toronto on Sunday. So, Toronto, Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and at 6 p.m. I will be at Third Heavens Church. I believe it's thirdheavens.org. Pastor Dominic Vital. And looking forward to it. I've never spoken in Toronto. I was actually in Toronto last Sunday for the first time at Catch the Fire, which is where the Toronto Blessing started back in '94. So I'm excited. I love to see people. I mean, in fact, the people here in Canada are really seeing, I mean, tremendous instantaneous deliverances and changes in their lives. And it's awesome to watch it because the news is spreading. People are starting to talk about this, saying, oh my gosh. I mean, they're already having me come back now, like in July. I figured I'd better be in a cooler place, you know, because Texas in July, I'm thinking it's going to be a little hot. I've been there before. Been there in July and August, and I know I have to come back pretty much every 5 or 6 weeks to do my TV shows, but looks like I'm going to be in Canada in July. So that will be fun. So anyway, this weekend, so tonight I'll be in, I guess it's the larger town's called Elmer, Aylmer, but Springfield, Ontario, at 7 o'clock, doing a deliverance, and then tomorrow, Saturday, we're doing a 1 to 5 training and equipping and impartation, because the Lord wants people around here to start getting trained so that they can deliver people. So that's exciting. Sunday, I'll be in Toronto at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. at Third Heavens Church, and that's in Woodbridge, I believe. It's a suburb of Toronto, I believe on the north side. Then April 15th, I'll be back in the States, Sandusky, Ohio, at Eagle's Nest International Church, Pastor Daryl Gant. And then April 20th, I'll be in San Angelo, Texas, doing a deliverance that night. And then the 21st in Kerrville, Texas, 22nd in San Angelo, Texas, 26th in College Station, Texas, May the 4th and 5th in San Antonio, and May the 18th and 19th in Houston. And I'm sure I'll get some more venues in Texas. So I think that's about it. My hand's getting a little bit cold. It's about 32 degrees out here. Again, I'm on the white, beautiful beaches here in the South Pacific of Ontario. And there's a ship out there. I don't know if you can see it or not on the horizon. Toronto should be about right in there, I'm thinking. I think Toronto's over there. But I'm just envisioning that's white sand right there, and it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm laying relaxing on the beach with a nice cool drink of iced tea or something. Anyways, well, any questions from anybody? Hello, Faith from San Angelo. 2 weeks from tonight, I will be in San Angelo, Texas. Yay! Sweating, probably. Oh, I'm hoping and praying, declaring it's going to be 74 degrees in Texas for the 5 weeks I'll be there, or however long it's going to be. Need to go to the Riverwalk in San Antonio. Yes, I've been there. I love the Riverwalk, especially when I don't get in the river and fall. So, Burr. Yeah, you know what? I'd like to go out there and like touch the water just to see how cold. Do you dare me? Do you double dog dare me to go out there? That I might slip and fall. Might not be able to come back up. But anyway, I like adventures. I'm going to try that. I'm going to put my iPad somewhere that it doesn't get dirty. All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. Let's go get in the water. Yay. Let's not fall, though. All right, here we go. I'm on the white sand, the white sandy beaches. Woo! Here we go. Oh yeah, the water's like 75 degrees. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna jump in. How cool is that? Actually, it's probably closer to like, I don't know, 44 degrees, something like that. But you can just imagine what this would be like in July. It'd be nice and warm. Trying to see if I can find Toronto. Toronto's somewhere out there. You hear the seagulls. Actually, I think I see some buildings over there. I think that's where Toronto's at. Yes, I see some tall buildings over there. So, anyway. Well, the adventure continues. We have a few more billion to get delivered from Jezebel, Leviathan, Ahab. We now have almost 30 people that have been trained. And I can't wait. I'm declaring by the end of this year, we'll have over 300 worldwide that have been trained and are getting people delivered. It's so fun to watch this explode around the world. It's so fun. Oh, there's the white beaches, the white sands of the South Pacific Lake Ontario. So, thank you for everybody's support. I love you guys. Have an awesome day and enjoy the weekend. And for those of you that are in Ontario, I will see you tonight, tomorrow, Sunday in Toronto. I'll see you tonight, tomorrow in Springfield. And doing some personal sessions next week over in Aylmer. And then I will be gone. I think I'm leaving on Friday to get back to Sandusky, Ohio. So anyway, it's been great. I love what the Lord is doing, getting people set free, helping them to love, to be pure, to no longer hear the spirits, causing them to cause conflict in their lives, and getting healed and delivered and seeing miracles. So, love you guys. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. And again, Toronto's somewhere over there. Toronto, Ontario. In fact, my Indiana Pacers play tonight against the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are like number 1 in the East, and the Pacers, I think, are 4th best or something. So, go Pacers. Beat the Raptors. All right. See you. Love you. Bye-bye.